What is going on, IPBL fans? My name is Frosty, aka the Alpha Like a Rock, and today I'm bringing you guys our Week 1 battle for our brand new league, the IPBL, the International Premier Battling League. So this league is, I feel this league has probably got one of the strongest teams I've ever drafted in a draft league format. So if you guys missed it, please go check out the draft analysis video. That should be in the playlist if you're looking at this in the playlist. So please go check out that video, and then you will see how much the team is. So as for this, our first week, we are playing against the Manchester Mareep. Now this match holds a little bit of a special thing for me because they gave us a little bit of the pull. They gave us a heads up on what the analysts thought for the power ratings, and they actually power ranked us at number 1. So we, the San Diego Wimpadres, are now number 1 power ranked after just draft. So just draft wise, that was really nice to know, and that was really nice to see that that they saw what I saw in this team. They see, like I said, when I drafted, I see a lot of power. I see a lot of just so much different things we can play with it. With this team. So like I said, if you missed the draft analysis video, go please check that out. I pretty much explain everything and what happens in that video. So with that, we have to play, like I said, we play the Manchester Mareep, which is, funny enough, the team that ranked in power rating number 2. Now the man who did this, the Reaper, I believe his name is on this, I don't remember if that's, I don't know. The analyst who did the power ratings, he said he had a really hard time picking 1 and 2 because both 1 and 2 had very good teams and they all had what he was looking for. But he eventually, in the end, went with us because he felt our team was more along the lines of what he thought was the better team. So, so shouts out to you. Thank you for ranking us that. But his team is coached, the team of the Manchester Mareeps is coached by Jack Fitz, or FitzBlitz. So if go check out FitzBlitz, should be in the description down below, should be all of the coaches' YouTube channels, so please go check out the other coaches. So with this, let's see what his let me just go over what his team looks like. He's got Tapu Fini, Mamoswine, Shaman, Raikou, Zygarde 10%, Tornadus Eye, Delphox, Heracross, Cofagrigus, Metagross, and Golbat. That's already a really good team. Now, the first thing I see with this team is that he does not have too many walls. There are not very many walls on this team. One of them could be Tapu Fini, Shaman, that could be a wall core. It actually can. Metagross could be a wall, mostly assault vested, but it could be a wall. And then Golbat. So I only really kind of see 4 types of walls, but they don't really have the wall. He doesn't really have the wall core. He has a lot of hyper offense, so I definitely need to pay attention to the hyper offense of this team. So he definitely has some wall breakers with Shaman, with Mamoswine. Zygarde 10% usually runs banded. It's, Tornadus Eye has pranksters, so I really got to watch for tailwinds. And Metagross is Metagross. And then Cofagrigus is a wall too. I mean, I'm sorry I missed that before, but Cofagrigus is also a pain in the ass to deal with, especially for my physical hitters. So with that, let's get into the team I built for this one. So as it is, we're going to be cheered on as always by our Shiny Rockruff Alpha. He is always sitting there for every league we do, and he is shining and cheering us on. So the first member of the team that I started building this one around for this team was our Goozrilla T-Tar. So Tyranitar, this was a cool Tyranitar. I wanted to run the Sand in week 1 as I knew that Sand would do very well against this team, as he didn't have too many things that could deal with the Sand as well. I think he only has 1 Mon that is immune to it, and that would be, 2 Mons immune to it, and that 3 Mons: Mamoswine, Zygarde, and Metagross. And I know no way in hell he would bring all 3. There's no way. If you brought all 3, you're just pretty much asking for fire and ice to kill you. So with that, just in case he did, I brought T-Tar here. This is a specially offensive T-Tar. Does Rock Pursuit, should he bring that Metagross? I do know Metagross does get Earthquake, but I'm not too horribly worried, as once I reveal Fire Blast, he's probably not going to want to stay in too horribly much to it. So I am rocking the Pursuit for it. But with this set, I realized that I get walled hard by Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini walls this set, and it's just what it is. But I have other answers for Tapu Fini, so it's not a big deal. So this set is rocking. Excuse me. This set is rocking Ice Beam, Fire Blast, Pursuit, and Stealth Rock. So once my rocks go up, I want to try and keep them up at all times and keep them going on. It is a defensive nature with a lot of defensive investments and some actual decent special attack investments and some, just kind of like a more mixed. It's like a mixed type of thing. So it does have a bold nature, but I only have one fully physical attacking move, that is Pursuit, and that's not meant to. It's not meant to OHKO somebody. It's meant to catch somebody off guard and catch something going out, and then do damage to it. So it's it's kind of there to trap, but it's also to kind of do damage on the backside. So the only stab I have is Pursuit, but this one does rock Ice Beam and it does rock Fire Blast. That is for the Golbat, and that is also for the Shaman, as both do hit it super effectively. So with that, we have 156 HP investments, 124 defensive investments with a defensive nature, 148 special attack investments, and 80 special defense investments. Like I said, it's kind of a mix of what it is. But he's also gonna be holding the Smooth Rock, so we're gonna get 8 turns of sand. So we're negating some leftovers and we're doing some chip damage, which is definitely what we need for this team, because chip damage is key for this team. What we need to do is chip damage into the sweepers. That's what we have to do. There's chip, we kind of use the sand, we use rocks, we use other parts of the team that I built here to kind of chip down their team to get a cleaner in to sweep up the game, and that's how this team was built. So I'm happy to use T-Tar this time around, and there's no way I was bringing T-Tar without bringing the Excadrill. So Excadrill is here. It is a Jolly Nature. It is Sand Rush Excadrill. This has just enough speed investments to where after when sand is up, I will outspeed everything with a Scarf. Doesn't matter. His fastest mom with a Scarf. This is guaranteed outspeeded by 1 point, as I double my speed in the sand, and that is what it is. It is what it is. War Greymon is here, and War Greymon is ready to take heads. So with this, you can see the moveset is Earthquake, Iron Head, Poison Jab, and Rock Slide. Kind of doubling up for fairies with Iron Head and Poison Jab. Poison Jab's just kind of there to be there, but Iron Head just does the same thing. Earthquake is because it's Earthquake, and then Rock Slide for that Tornadus. Should he bring it, and some flying units. He does have 4 weaknesses to rocks, so I definitely want to make sure I have something to hit that with. So he has 108 investments in the HP, 252 in the attack, and 148 with a Jolly Nature. Like I said, just enough speed to that with the sand, I outspeed the entire team. Scarfs doesn't matter. So with that, as you can see, we got our water weakness. So there was no way in hell I was not going this week without bringing Narissa, our Vaporeon. So our water weakness is in check right now, as we do have it. We do have a little bit of a grass weakness, but I'm not too worried about that, as we are rocking a mixed tank Narissa here, as she has 156 investments in the HP, so she'll be able to wish pass at least 100 and almost 113, 112 HP over to somebody, which is nice, because she could definitely heal somebody up to almost full, or at least, it does at least a good 50 some percent to most things. We are rocking 156 investments in the defenses just to get us to 100, and then 196 in the special defenses, as this is more of my special defensive wall. It is rocking Wish, Protect, Scald, and Roar. Roar is the anti-setup move, as I do believe he could bring that Calm Mind Tapu Fini, and I don't want him to set up. Also, Calm Mind Raikou is still a thing, and with that, I don't want things setting up in my face, so I want to be able to roar them out and get them out as quickly as humanly possible. And that was this. I almost went with Yawn, but I wasn't for certain if Yawn would still go through with Tapu Fini's Misty Terrain, so I wasn't for certain about that, so I decided to go with Roar, as Roar I felt was the better option, and I didn't have to worry about it not going off, when Tapu Fini comes in. It was like, oh, well, Yawn, well, I just switched into Tapu Fini. Oh, well, Yawn's useless now. Even though I get the switch to Tapu Fini, I don't really have anything to kind of damage it, which kind of sucks. So, though I could get a free wish off, wish into something else, I could do that, but I just decided, I was like, let's go with Roar. Roar is the better option here, and so that's why I decided to go with Roar there. So this is, like I said, this is my special wall, and let's introduce the physical wall pairing of that, and with that, we're going to be pairing this with Blair, our Gourgeist. Now this is rocking Leech Seed, Seed Bomb, Shadow Sneak, and Synthesis. This is a full, this is a physical wall. It is my physical wall because its physical investments are so high, because its physical defense is high. It's 122 physical defense, but I do have a lot of special defense investments. So I have 244 HP investments as to get me to that nice 191, and then I have 100 defense investments with a defense nature, as that gets me to 170, and then I have 164 in the special defenses, rocking that leftovers. This does have Frisk, as there aren't too many great horrible abilities, but this will allow me to see if things like Zygarde is scarfed, or Raikou is scarfed, or banded Zygarde, leftovers on something. The leftovers I'll be able to see automatically, but this will give me a lot of set information, which is very good for planning counters and doing all this. The only problem I see with the set is that if he has a Shaman, if he has a physically defensive Shaman, I literally get walled out by it. So, because I can't Leech Seed, I can't Seed Bomb does minimal damage, Shadow Sneak does minimal damage, so there's not much I can do horribly there. So, but I have other answers for that, and one of the other answers I have for that is Nami, our Nidoqueen. Now, I know looking at it, the best answer would be to bring Scolipede. Scolipede would outspeed most of the team, but I felt that would be planned for, and so I decided to bring Nami just in case they wanted to bring some Hidden Power Rocks, just to make Hidden Power Rock useless. And Nami hits just as hard as Scolipede does, and it's a little bit bulkier too, so I can be able to live things that I wouldn't be able to live. I'd be able to live it. So with this, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. With this, she is Sure Force Life Orb, Modest Nature, 252 investments in the special attack, 172 investments in the HP, and 84 invested as to get me I think it's faster than a non-speed invested Metagross, I think is what I went for there. Yeah, I think it's non-speed invested Metagross, and then I think no, Shaman's still faster. So I think it's just fast enough to be faster than non-speed invested Metagross, so that way I can not get absolutely obliterated by a Psychic or a Zen Headbutt, and I can get a powerful Earth Power off, as that will OHKO everything that is not Assault Vest on that Metagross, should he bring it. So I'm also going to be rocking Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower. So he does have some things that are weak to fire and things that are weak to ice, and then Sludge Wave is a second stab. So this set pretty much rips right through Shaman, minus the Earth Power. All three of the other ones do. Ice Beam rips through it, Sludge Wave rips through it, and then Flamethrower rips through it as well. So, and then with that, we're bringing our last member of the team, which is going to be our Rock Lee. This is our Scarfed Darmanitan. Now this has just enough speed investments that with a Scarf, I outspeed everything on the team. This will get me up to outspeeding everything on the team. It is an Adamant Natured, so that way I will hit like a truck. I mean, look at that attack. It's 211. 211 attack. If that thing was banded, it would be it would probably OHKO things with FitzBlitz. But I definitely wanted to have a Scarfer this time going into this match, as I needed to have something that was very fast other than Work Greymon. Just in case things went south, I would have something else to fall back on as an additional wall breaker, or just something there that where if he knows he can't outspeed it, he doesn't have switch-ins, something's going to have to come in and take a FitzBlitz. And there's not many things that switch into a Darmanitan FitzBlitz, not with Sheer Force. So with that, he's also rocking Earthquake, Rock Slide, and U-Turn, as I can use this thing to turn, and that's main thing is to pretty much get in, turn out, and get into my, keep the momentum always flowing in my favor. But it is also to kind of pick off, like, once things get low and once chip damage has been happening, with rocks through, maybe roars, switches, and then sand to wear things down, I could bring in Rock Lee late in the game, click FitzBlitz, and FitzBlitz my way to victory. So with that is our team. Our team again consists of Rock Lee, Nami, our Nidoqueen, Blair the Gourgeist, and this is a super version Gourgeist. So it's the big version of Gourgeist. So Nerissa are Vaporeon, Wargreymon are Excadrill, and Goozrilla are Tyranitar. So next time in the next little bit, we're gonna go into the match and we're gonna see how we did. All right, guys, we're back, and you know what? I forgot to say this when I was doing the team introductions. You know what? You guys see the brand new layout. You see it out there on the screen. Big shouts out to Caleb who made us this nice layout for the IPBL and for the San Diego Wimpadres. Big shouts out to you. Thank you so much, Caleb, for this. And as you can see we're here on Showdown. So what ended up happening was this. Fitz and I were in our battle. We were having our battle. We were a good 27-8 turns in. We were like 30 minutes into this battle. His internet went out and he DC'd. It does happen. It's Pokemon. It does happen. So we decided the best way of handling things would be to go on to Showdown and recreate it the best we could to get us right to where we needed to be for this match. So with that, I am going to actually scroll down and I'm going to, yes, okay, making sure I'm on normal. So So with that, as you can see, we see his team. He's got Shaman, Zydog, Mamoswine, Raikou, Golbat, and Tapu Fini. So immediately I see he has 2 Defoggers and 1 Rock Setter. So the Mamoswine is probably his Rock Setter if he did bring rocks. He also has 2 potential Defoggers, so I need to get those out of the way and I need to get my rocks up and get them out of the way before I can defog and go off, because I definitely need all the chip damage that these rocks are gonna do. So with that, you're going to see some crazy plays for like the first 28 turns, because you're going to see us kind of recreated the best that we had to. So I'll explain everything as we go, and as it is, I'm actually going to turn this off. As you guys can still hear in the background, there is some stuff going on in the background. So I'm actually going to turn that sound off. There we go. And give me just 1 second. Let me turn off some other things. There we go. All right. So hold on 1 second. Okay. There we go. Okay. We're good now. We're good now. Hold on. There we go. Probably heard something, but whatever. That was me unplugging my DS, as I actually just do kind of everything quickly. So I unplugged my DS, but as you guys, as I said before, we had to recreate the battle the best that we could. So hopefully this will not be a big issue. But this also will allow me to pause, which is nice, because when I do the commentaries before with the video, there's no pause button through that, so I can't pause or do anything. So I kind of have to explain everything fast. So here I can actually sit down, I can explain a little bit more. So we'll get into the match, and I will explain everything as we go. I'm going to move this a little bit more forward on top of me. There we go. That makes me a lot better. So first, my initial thing was to lead with Darmanitan. I'm Scarfed. I want to see if this Raikou is Scarfed, as I felt that Raikou would be his best lead. And as we go, he does actually lead with the Raikou. So here I'm going to know 2 pieces of information. 1, if he's Scarfed. 2, if he's not. So if I go first, he will not be Scarfed, and that's fine. And that's good information to know that he does not have a Scarfer, or that the most potential mod of being Scarf is not Scarfed. So this will also do a clean 40 some odd amount of percent, and then I can get into my switch and I can take the Volt Switch, which I think is coming. But he actually surprises me and actually hard switches into his Golbat. So his Golbat is going to eat this U-turn, and he doesn't actually know if I'm Scarfed, but I'm pretty sure he was playing for that, maybe playing for the ban. So here I just decide I'm going to go into Nami, and like I said, we're recreating. He does Super Fang me here. As I go for the Ice Beam, I want to scout and see how much damage it does. That's 45%. So I'm kind of iffy on this right now. So here he does U-turn. He doesn't get the crit in the game, but we're recreating this the best we can. He does go into Raikou here. I did get an Ice Beam off. It does the same amount of percentage. For the most part, all these things kind of go off as planned. And then here I actually I hard switch into Godzilla, as I know that I can set up my Sand. 2, I know that the Volt Switch is coming. So I know I only take about 20% from the Volt Switch, so I'm not too horribly worried about it, as he does. Actually, no. So I thought it was coming, but he actually went for Extra Sentry. Now he takes 6% because of that. He still has shown no item yet, and he goes for the Volt Switch here. But it also shows me that he is not Scarfed. He's not choiced in any way, and he goes into Shaman. Here on that Volt Switch, I just decide to get my rocks up. I need to get my rocks up. I know I can't take a Seed. I can take a Seed Flare, but I don't want to. So I'm going to go into my counter to this, which is to pretty much hardwall this with Blair, as I'm pretty much hardwalling myself. So he does go for this. In the game, he did get the defense drops, but I didn't worry too much about that. Because we both switched out this turn anyways. He switched out here into his Golbat, and then I think I went for Synthesis. I did go for Synthesis, because I wanted to scout and I wanted to get my stuff up. So when he did switch into Golbat here, I was not too worried about it. So here I go for Elite Seed. Now on this one, I actually missed, but in the game I didn't miss on the first turn. So here he just decides to Super Fang, knowing that he's not going to do any damage, and I'm going to get a second seed off, as this just kind of wastes a turn, so that way I can get the seed off, because I do get seed damage. And then I hit it this time, and the Sand does do damage to him as well. This just wastes an extra turn of Sand. So here I actually get the switch, and I go into Nami, because I want to try and get these here, as he does go for the Roost on this one. So here I'm able to get a little bit of healing over to Nami via the Elite Seed. So I'm like, okay, I just need to click this Ice Beam. I know I can't really kill it or do anything with it, so I'm not too horribly worried about it. But with Elite Seeds and Ice Beams, I can 2-hit KO it from this range. But here he just decides to go and U-turn out, and he does U-turn off of this, and he does go into, I believe he goes into Tapu Fini. Yes, he goes into Fini here. And so I do get the Ice Beam off. It does do the 20%. This doesn't show me exactly what set he is, and I don't think he had. I think he had a little bit of investments in special defense, but not too horribly much. I didn't calc it all that great, so on that attack, so I don't really have the right numbers to show for that. But for this, I know I can't take a Surf, I can't take a Scald, or an Ice Beam, so I'm going to scout for the Ice Beam, the Scald, the Surf. Is I'm going to go into Narissa, as Narissa hard walls this thing pretty hardly, minus like Moonblast, but he's not going to Moonblast a. He's not going to potentially Moonblast a Nidoqueen, predicting me to move out, and then I eat it, and then I kill him with a Sludge Wave. So he doesn't want to take that. So he just went for the direct kill, which is a smart move on his part. For this part, he switched out here, and this is when I revealed Roar, as I didn't want him setting up or bringing in this thing on top of me, so that way I had to force a switch. So I just roared it out, which is nice because I got the chip damage, and I actually did in the game roar it out to Psydog. So it was nice that the Roar actually worked with us here. So here he switches out and he goes into his Golbat, and I think this one I went for a Scald on this, and in the game I got the burn, but on this one I didn't get the burn, so I'm not worried too much about it, as you know, burn didn't really play a big deal into things in the end. So he does go for this here, as I just decide I'm going to roar it out again, and I'm going to kind of just shuffle his way through the team. And then here I roar out into the Illusion, which is actually what I roared out in the game, so roar is working nicely here. So here I switched out, and I switched into Darmanitan, kind of expecting a Seed Flare, as I wanted to scare this thing out. Here I just here he shows Protect, and this is actually what happened in the game, is I actually just decided I'm going to click Flare Blitz. I'm going to click Flare Blitz. I'm going to kill something. His two best counters to me are the Golbat and the Golbat and the Tapu Fini. Golbat and Tapu Fini don't take a couple of Flare Blitzes. I believe Tapu Fini takes about 35 to 42%, so it will die in two Flare Blitzes to this. And he does not want to take. He doesn't want to sack off the Tapu Fini. With rocks, the Golbat dies instantly. So here he has to sack something, as he doesn't have a counter to this. He does not have a switch in for this. So he just decides he is going to sack off Chomper here, as I am going to kill Chomper. And Chomper, because at the end when it took a 45%, I did realize during the match that it was a specially defensive Golbat. So I did actually take that into account. It was fully invested in special defenses, as if it wasn't, I would have done at least 60% with the Ice Beam. So that's how I knew it was specially defensive. So here Rocket League picks up the first kill of the match with this. Now here, I really debated in the game, because I was really debating on going for this kill. But the problem was this was roll, and it was not a very good roll on my part. So it was like, okay, if I click Flare Blitz and I don't kill it, I'm going to lose Rocket League, and I don't want to lose that to Psydog. Psydog dies next turn, but I have to take another hit somewhere. I still need this thing around to pressure the Shaman. I need this thing around, so I decide to make the switch in to predict that he goes for the 1,000 arrows, and I switch into Blair, as Blair can easily eat 1,000 arrows, and I called it right. And I also see that he's choice banded. I saw that in the game too, so I got lucky. He did go for that. It does literally no damage. Here I just decided I think I go for Elite Seed on this, just to see if he was going to go into the Shaman. Yeah, I do. So in the game I did that as well. So here he goes into Shaman. Here this is where we had to play with Tapu Fini, because Tapu Fini was a lot lower, and so we missed a few turns somewhere here and there. So we just decided I'm going to switch into Narissa, and he's going to switch into Fini as to take another set of rock damage, which he needed to take because he swapped in 3 times on rocks. And so we kind of get the switch here. So this is where this turn is kind of like feeling a little wonky, because we're still kind of recreating the best we can. Here he does go for the Moonblast. That does happen in the game. The special attack doesn't happen, but the actual damage does happen in the game. And I go for Roar, and I did roar it out because I didn't want it setting up. Now here I go into Psydog. I think it was Shaman in the game is who got pulled out that time, but it is what it is. So here I believe he switches into Shaman, as I switch into Blair, just to kind of get some switch goings. And then so this is about where we're getting ready to get to where the remainder of the match goes. So here I switch into Rock Lee, and I did this twice. I did this just to pressure, as this time he wises up and he actually goes for the Seed Flare. I now know his entire moveset. He has Protect, Leech Seed, Seed Flare, Protect, Leech Seed, Sleeve Flare, and Dazzling Gleam. So he has no way of actually handling this Darmanitan other than the Seed Flare damage. So and it's not enough to KO me. It's like literally a 3-hit KO at this range. So So he does see flare me here, but now I pressure this thing out because he cannot stay in, and now he has to sack something else off, and this is when he actually brings in Feeney, and Feeney takes the third set of rock damage, and he does die. And in the game, I did kill it from this range, so Feeney was taken out by that flare blitz in the game when we were doing the Wi-Fi battle. And then here he goes into Doggo, and here's where he fully realizes that I am scarfed, and I do actually KO the dog. He was at 82%. I was like, he took 3 sets of rocks damage, so he was 82% originally, but since he took the extra 4th set, it didn't really matter. I KO'd him in the game anyway. So this is about when we start getting to the turns where the match got DC'd. Here he did go into Mammoth Swine. I did call that he would go for Ice Shard, and I went into Narissa. And then so I take the Ice Shard damage, which is also good information to know that he is Life Orbed. So that was really good for us to know. Sorry, excuse me. So here we get in. It's turn 28. He switches in, and I think I just protected. I did protect in the game just to protect to get my HP back up. Now, turn 28. We're here. This is where the match takes. This is where we take back over. We've recreated it the best way we can. It is in my favor right now, 6-3. And this is how it was in the game. I was actually really kind of on the verge of getting this nice little possible 6-0 going off. So here I see he brings in the Shaman. My best bet is to go into Blair. I can't do any damage to it, but he can't do any damage to me either. So I go into Blair, and we're just kind of going to play this by ear here, as he does go for the Leech Seed. Here I kind of go for Seed Bombs and just kind of scout some damage. As he goes for Dazzling Gleam, he can't really do any real damage to me, considering I have an actual heal in Synthesis. So even if I were to get down to like 40%, I would immediately Synthesis up. Here I'm just kind of testing the damages to see what happens. He's going for Leech Seeds. I go for another Seed Bomb on this next turn, as he goes for Seed Flare. And so here is where I decide to get ballsy. He's shown me Leech Seed 3 turns. Now, does he go for Seed Flare, predicting me to switch? I predict that he goes for the Seeds. And if he goes for the Seeds, I'm going to survive it once. I'm going to survive 1 set of Seed Flare, but he's going to be immediately pressured out. Or he's going to have to sack Shaman. And then Rock Lee gets killed off on the next turn. But that's not actually what happens, as he does make the prediction of me switching out into Rock Lee, and Rock Lee has to eat the Seed Flare. So unfortunately, that was a really good prediction on Flitz's part. So here I get a free switch in, as I switch into because really, as I want to get the sand damage, I want to get the Ice Beam damage, or I want to get the Fire Blast. So he does go for the Leech Seed. I thought he was going to go for Seed Flare, but I do land the Fire Blast, and we do the 48%. At this range, I am guaranteed to KO him from this range if I land another Fire Blast. But he's going to get the Leech Seed, as I don't want, I know I can't, it's kind of like a roll, and so I decide I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to play this and see if he goes for, I want to see if he goes for Dazzling Gleam, and I can't, he might go for the Protect, as I want to try and get a free switch in, and I don't want to give him too much HP back. So here I decide to switch into Nami, as Nami is the best thing for this. Now here is the play of the game. So Seed Flare has a chance to KO me from this range. That is the problem. Now, like I said, that crit actually played a little bit into it, because I should have been at a little bit higher HP, but it is what it is when we recreated. So here it does have a chance to KO me, and it is a roll. It is a roll. I believe it's like a 40% roll. It's not a great roll, but it's still 40%. It can still happen. So I know the Seed Flare is coming. I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower, just in case he switches Mammoth Swine in by accident. Mammoth Swine does not survive a Flamethrower after rocks. So here he decides to go for the Seed Flare, and I live on 2%. I get lucky, live on 2%. Flamethrower is a guaranteed KO. It does like 70, I believe it does like 75, 80%. So here he goes into Mammoth Swine. At this point, I was expecting another an Ice Shard to come in. So I make the switch into Narissa to kind of get this, but he makes a great play here, and actually just goes for the EQ and kills me. But this now sets up the end of the match, as now I have sand. I have 5 turns of it. It's time to bring in the cleaner. Let's bring in Wargreymon, and let's finish this. I am Sand Rush. He now knows I'm Sand Rush, as I go for Iron Head, as Iron Head is guaranteed to KO both things. And with the last turn, he brings in the Suzuki, and there's nothing he can do about it. I'm faster, and I'm going to hit the Iron Head, and we're going to take this first season match 4-0 over our opponent FitzBlitz. FitzBlitz, this was a great match. It was really really intense when we were doing the battle on cartridge. It does kind of suck that we had to have it recreated through Showdown. I think the match would have been really good to show live. You know, it would have been one of those ones to show live. I felt like a live battle would have been really good, and I almost recorded it live, but we would have had to recreate it anyways, so that would have gone out the window. But we do take a 4-0 victory. We do make good predictions on what he was going to bring. We do play good around the mons that he had. I was able to pressure him enough to never get a defog off, which is always good. He never was able to get the rocks up on my side of the field, so he wasn't able to whittle me down at all. I made good switches. Blair was able to handle his Shaman. I was also able, Narissa was able to handle his Feeny. And then Nami just being a boss, being a badass, and surviving that Seed Flare. I really didn't think she was going to survive the Seed Flare, so I was really happy when she did, because if she hadn't survived the Seed Flare, I would have had to go into Excadrill, and I would have had to Iron Head my way to the game, and I didn't want him to take the Seed Flare, so I really was kind of sacking something off to get into the free switch into Excadrill, as the Excadrill Iron Head and the Seed Flare, the Excadrill Iron Head and the Poison Jab would have KO'd it. This was a very good match. It showed a very dominant showing. It shows that the team actually just covers each other so well, and that's what I really liked about building this week for this team, was that it showed that it just covers so much ground between each other, like things that Narissa couldn't take, Blair could take, and things Blair couldn't take, Narissa could take, and things that they both couldn't take, Nami could take, and then the things, you know, like a Thunderbolt, you know, and then Tyranitar's coming in taking Volt switches, and, you know, getting lucky with the what is it, the extrasensory. Like, I knew I was gonna get my Rogs up as soon as I saw extrasensory in the game. I was like, it was a good thing he went for the kill. Should I leave Nami in? You know, he would have gone for the kill, and at 50%, it would have KO'd me from that range that I was at. So it was a good play on his part to go for the KO. Should I leave it in and get ballsy and try to predict that he goes for the Volt switch? But I really actually was predicting to go for the Volt switch. It's just I didn't want to take the chance that he might go for Hidden Power Ice or something else. So the best thing I could have done was go into Guzrilla, and plus at that point in the match I didn't know if he was Scarfed or Specs or anything like that, and I still hadn't seen him switch moves, as he hadn't revealed a move yet. So I was actually really fearing that he might have Aura Sphere, as Aura Sphere would have 2-hit KO'd my damn Titor, but it would have set up Sand, and he would have been in all sorts of trouble after that. But I would not have had Sand for Wargram on later in the game, and that would have been just absolutely trouble and a half right there. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle as we take a 4-0 over FitzBlitz. Please go check out FitzBlitz, the side of the thing. I will leave his link down in the description down below. So it was a great match. Fitz, I wish you the best of luck on the rest of the season. Please come back and check it out. You know, check out more IPBL content, as like I said, I feel this is probably one of the strongest drafted teams I've ever drafted, and there's so much potential in this team that I'm really excited about using. I'm actually more excited about this team than I am about the ICBA. I'm not gonna lie. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe as always, share it on social media, and I will see you on our next video when we go week 2. And of course I'm not ready because I can't see where the hell my mouse is. There it is. As we go into week 2, where we play, who do we play in week 2? Who do we play in week 2? I don't know, but I know I want to play them. We play the Lehigh Valley Iron Tepex. So, where is that team? I think here it is. Okay, so we play LOTR dude 13. We actually play Caleb. Oh my god, we play Caleb next week, and this is the guy who, we play Caleb next week, who's the guy who was gracious enough to make us the layout. So he has a pretty good team, as he has Volcanion and Terrakion, Blastoise, Haxorus, Lucario, Mudsdale, Electros, Electivire, Roserade, Kyurem, and Gliscor. So he definitely has some good things there. Kyurem, god man, I'm just having to play Kyurem every week. Oh, it's just one of those mons where I have to play it every week. So it's gonna be an interesting battle. It is very, very much going to be an interesting battle. So we'll see how it goes in the next we'll have to see how it goes in the next battle. So I hope you guys please come back for that. Please check out FitzBlitz's channel and go check out his side of the battle. And I will see you guys in our next week when we take on Caleb and his Iron Tech picks. So have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you in the next battle. All right.